It's a beautiful day here in Jerusalem at the TBN Studio, and we have a very special guest with us today. This is Cris Cyborg.
Hi.
Welcome to Jerusalem. Welcome to the TBN Studio.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us.
My pleasure. Thanks so much.
And for those at home who don't know who Cris is a MMA top fighter, one of the best, if not the best in the world, in her class. A very accomplished fighter all around in mixed martial arts, and also a devout Christian, and also a first-time visitor to Israel.
Yes.
Here for the first time. So welcome so much to the studio, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. My pleasure to be here. You know, it's the one dream come true, coming to Israel, and then a lot of fans come stop me in the street. You know, It's very, very nice for me too.
Well, it's amazing having you here with us. And just to put everything in context, I mean, you are, if you follow UFC, if you follow MMA, you're constantly, you're in the news all the time on that topic. And you are, for people who don't know, this is a very demanding sport. You're at the top of the athletic game in this arena of mixed martial arts. And I think it's very interesting because there are very few people who are both in this sport and also Christian. And we were talking about it earlier. There are only a handful of people who get this high at such a demanding sport and still remember to, or are able to maintain a good relationship with God, or, remain open about their faith. And if you wouldn't mind, just opening up a bit about how that looks and how your discipline ties into the faith and stuff like that.
I put everything in my life. I pray before. I think if I be fighter, if I'm the champion, I think God give me the bless for me. And for me, it's very important. Appreciate what He doing in my life, and then it's important to use the platform, like being UFC, being another event. I can be in a lot of homes and show the people who stand me up every day. Who give me strength, for continue fighting, and not just fighting in the octagon, but. Our life is every day is fighting. If you don't a fighter, you're the fighter because you spirit to fight every day. You have to do good things. You try to a lot of things come in your mind, but you want to know God's will. And then I think everybody's a fighter. Every day. Yeah,
and I think a lot of people, when they look at someone who's in your place, at the top of the food chain, so to speak, they see you in that moment. They see you, winning in the arena, in the octagon, like you said. But they don't see everything that led up to that point. They don't see the discipline and the challenge and the hard work. And I would imagine, but I want to hear this from you, I would imagine that your faith life ties into that. The fact that you're both a devout Christian and also a devout athlete. Can you sort of talk us through how that connects?
I think it's very important not just to be strong your body. I think spirit is strong too. I think then have to work together. For me, it's very special. I love training. I train really hard, and I have the philosophy in my heart. You have to do 90%, and God is gonna give you 10%, and this is gonna make 100.
That's a good line.
And this is good too, because when you do your best. Like always before my fights, I always pray and then ask God, you want my heart, my heart, I want to win, but it's always it's your hand. You want to give the victory, you're going to be your hand. It doesn't matter what's happened, I'm going to be with you. And this is my prayer always before the fight. And and then I do my best, train really hard. I'm fasting. I like to praise for Lord before my fights, before in my camp. I think this is very special. You be strong the both way, the spirit and the body. I think this is the most important.
Yeah, and you're very open about your faith. I mean, if you look at your vlogs and anything like that, there's worship music on those vlogs.
Yes.
It's not on the down low. It's not hidden. You're very open about the combination of faith and the sport, and I think a lot of people look up to that. A lot of people have a lot of respect to you because of that. And I think you've done something, very unique for definitely for MMA, but for the Christian faith and the sport.
I have a lot of people don't know about God. And I think it's if God put me on big platform to see me, I think I have obligation to talk about Him. It's like, and I talk about Him. How is it special? How is we special for Him? I think it's the most important give you hope for the people, you know. And then I like to work with people. I like to share my faith. I like to share what God do in my life, what He did, you know, and where I'm in the fighter, you know, and why I'm the champion like before and now. But I think everything is God doing in my life, I like to share.
Yeah.
Because this is making people want to do, you know. They say, man, if she did, I can do. You know, she's coming from Brazil, you know, it's like from favela, you here and you live in the United States. It's like be the champion of the world. I think it's nothing only for myself I did, you know. I did a lot of discipline, but for sure God blessed me for being where I'm at, and I think special share this for everybody.
Yeah, and I think another thing that I've seen in your professional career is the fact that, you know, all the top athletes, they're measured not in their moment of success, they're measured at the moment of breaking or failure and challenge. And, you know, I think that's where people dig into their faith, to their roots. And, you know, I've seen you've come out of some very hard times in your career. And again, I think that's, again, it's an example of your life. You haven't been bitter, you haven't been angry. You always given praise to God in that time.
You know, I have a hard time in my career. Like you said, a lot of times I cry. I say, ask God why, you know. But you know, I think in time, and when you continue pray, continue talk to Him, He's gonna show why. You know, I think everything He do for us, He's have the best plan, better than our plan. And my last fight I lost, you know. And after my last, I'm 13 years undefeated. Yeah. And I was ready for that fight, and I have in my heart the victory that fight. And I lost that fight, but you know, I was not sad after fight. I did all the interviews, and that day I was praying for Lord, because I have my brother and my mom, we prayed together the first time. And then the same day I was talking to Lord in my heart, God, today is the best day of my life. Yeah. And I lost that day after.
That's very powerful,
you know, but you know, it's I won the battle after that day. Spiritual battle. I lost the fight, but you know, the spirit I won. I put them together, pray with me, and this is most special, you know. And then you always have things to learn too. I think when you lost, you learn a lot of things, you know. God like mold you, like, you know, to teach you, you know. And then, you know, it's always I said too, all my fans, you know, I stay like 13 years champion, and I always said, you know, for me the belt, it's a symbol for me. I never used that thing. I learned this is the only one symbol, and the most important for me is to be the champion in people's life, put seed in their hearts, you know, give you hope and inspiration. Then, and I always have this, and then, you know, and I'm gonna continue to be the champion, because I'm gonna continue to put seed in people's hearts and make them happy and share my faith. That's
beautiful. It's so powerful. You're able to be transparent about that, so people can get sort of an insight into that moment. You know, you mentioned, you know, years of, just being undefeated in fighting, and I think for a lot of people, the idea of mixing violence and a Christian faith is an odd idea. But we had talked about this before. I mean, it isn't for me in Israel, but in the West, I think for many people it is. How do you combine the two? This idea of like extreme violence and, you know, physicality, and then just, you know, Christian faith.
You know, a lot of people ask me, how is she coming with gospel music to the fight for doing something violent? You know, in the Bible have a lot of battles. You know, it's a lot of battles, and God with them. Yeah. You know, and then I think just every day same I said, it's like a spiritual battle. Yeah. You know, you fight to do good things, not doing bad things, and then the fight is it's something. It's the girl you're fighting or somebody guy on the fighting. Then ready for the fight. Yeah. Then training for the fight. There's no someone I go to the street to beat someone. No. Then both ready. They're both athletes, you know. Yeah. And then to my sport have rules, everything. And when people say that, I know I can understand, but I try to show them another side, you know, and then show to them and I have to use the platform. When I fight, I have like 1.5 million people watch. Yeah. So this time I can put God and share my gospel for every house. Yeah. And because this I'm fighting, because this I'm there, I have this is the purpose God have to my life, for my life.
Yeah, I mean, in many ways, you're sort of in the forefront of, you know, of a sport that's, I don't want to say it's untouched, but it's not really touched by the Christian message or the message of Christ, and you have an amazing platform to just be able to openly.
Yes. And the most people like fighting most, they don't know about God too much. Yeah. You know, they don't know.
It doesn't often mix.
Yes.
It's interesting.
Yes. Yeah. And then this is the opportunity. Who's the one to God want to save? the people don't know him.
The unreached, yeah.
People don't know him,
Yeah.
and that is the perfect platform for me, and then for him, and then, you know, I'm gonna be there for you to use me all the time when I be in cage.
Amen. That's beautiful.
Nice.
That's beautiful. So this is your first time in Israel?
Yes, first
How's it
time.
been?
Amazing, very nice. I'm really happy, and then I just stay 7 days. For me, I want to come back. I don't want to leave. You know, I think it's beautiful, and then very nice to know the things I read in the Bible. I'm at the places, you know, and it's very special for me. It's for sure. I'm a different person after I left here. You know, I'm very different. You know, this is changing, very respected.
If you had to pick one experience out of this entire trip, what would it be?
I went to see Galilee, and then I really have amazing time there. Pray over there, and I feel very blessed, very thankful for everything, for being here. I think that place is very special. I feel in my heart.
Amazing.
I get one rock from there.
Well, we definitely want to have you back in Israel.
For sure.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
you had mentioned this, that there are a lot of people who want to have you come and coach and have seminars and stuff like that.
Yes, I receive a lot of call from me to seminars, but you know, I make the plan just for taking time for me, you know, take time for praise, for, you know, for Lord, and they say, no, next time I come, I'm just gonna come to work, you know, and we're gonna be a pleasure to be here, and the people really nice, and then I always don't know how much fans I have here, and then people stop in the street, it's crazy, and then really nice, really nice. This is show me I'm doing the good things.
So
you know, I'm doing the
next
good
time
way.
you come, then come with a plan to stay a little longer.
Okay, yeah, I will.
Awesome.
I will.
Chris, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
It's just hearing your message and your story is so encouraging and so touching. So again, thank you for taking your time. Thank you for sharing your heart and being open on a world stage about your faith.
You know, my pleasure. You know, this is amazing for me. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. You know, and I say thank you for all my fans and the people giving me some love. And then, you know, I just going to give love back. You know, then this is my pleasure. Thanks so much. God bless you, and see you next time.
Thank you.